And a very good, windy Sunday afternoon. We've got Trooper baseball on deck for you here down at Ernie Rodolini Field, Thorn Rider Park. Troopers getting ready, set to go here against the Billings Expos for the first part of a doubleheader this afternoon. I'll get you the defensive assignments here for the Troopers in this first game. Starting things off on the bench, or on the mound, I should say, on the pitcher's mound. Avin Barney will be the starter for this Troopers team here today. Behind home plate, Blaine Phillips backing things up. At first base, it's going to be Laith Brown. At second base is Tanner Hamrick. Third base, Tyler Reeson. Shortstop, Cale Hamrick. And then in left field, we got Dom DeStefano. In center field, Tyler Hutton. And then rounding out the defensive assignments for the Troopers, playing right field, Dyson Murner. And then the starting lineup for the Billings Expos, they'll come to the plate here first in the top of the first half of the inning. Pablo Guzman will lead things off, followed by Colton Wells batting second. Batting third will be Anthony Ferguson. Cooper Stallman will bat fourth cleanup spot. Royce Fisher will be batting fifth. John Dolan will be batting sixth. Tegan Murphy will bat in seventh and DHing. Braden Rivera will be batting eighth. And then Cannon Hoff will round things out for the Billings Expos. Adam Johnson will start on the mound for this Expos team as well, but won't be hitting, obviously, with the DH in play for this Expos lineup. We're just about ready to go. Just got the throwdown from Mr. Phillips, Blaine Phillips. And we are just about ready to go with Pablo Guzman coming to the plate to lead things off, facing Avin Barney to start things off here in this first game. As I said, it's a windy day here at Thorn Rider Park. A swirling wind is kind of coming from all directions, but it is all going out towards center field. So if you pop one up, it'll probably fly a lot further than you were anticipating. We'll see how that plays into effect. First pitch from Avin Barney to Guzman is lined into right field. It's going to be foul, though, out of play. So first pitch, first strike for Avin Barney. Here comes the 0-1 from Barney. That one fouled off behind home plate and out of play as well. Guzman has a very closed stance up there as the leadoff man. Front foot a lot closer to home plate than the back foot. That one misses wide, high and outside for ball one. And here comes the 1-2. That one a little bit inside. Caught Guzman kind of by surprise. He was kind of leaning behind it a little bit, but missed just a little bit inside. So 2-2 count. And here comes the 2-2 from Barney. That one, same thing, a little bit inside as well. Good pitch, though, but still misses to make it a 3-2 count. And the 3-2 once more. That one hit back up the middle. Tanner Hamrick's going to have to try to get there. Makes a sliding grab, throw over to first. Not in time. Laith Brown gets behind Laith Brown over at first, but Guzman's going to have to stay at first. That was probably an infield single nonetheless, so we'll put that down as a single for Guzman. That was going to be a tough play for Tanner Hamrick over there at second base. He was playing pretty far in between first and second base, closer towards the first base foul line. He had to run a long way to go and get that. He did stop it, but just could not make the play. So the single bring up Colton Wells as Guzman gets his lead over at first base. First pitch to Wells, catches the outside corner to the righty for strike one. Troopers wearing their baby blue tops with their white pants. Here comes the 0-1. That one's a little bit low. Good stop by Phillips. Keep that in front of him. Guzman can't go anywhere. Troopers with their baby blue tops, and the Expos kind of royal blue, navy blue, I guess is what I should say. Dark navy blue. Gray pants with the red piping down the side. Pickoff move towards Guzman, but back in time. So 1-1 count to Wells. And here it comes for Barney. That one swung on chopped third base side. It's going to be foul, though. So it'll stay a 1-2 count now. Barney ahead to the two-hole hitter for the Expos. And here comes the 1-2. Curveball gets in there for strike three. Catches Wells looking. That'll be the first strikeout of the day for Evan Barney. And that's going to bring up Anthony Ferguson, 3-hole hitter. As Guzman still over there on first base after his infield single to get things started for this Expos offense. First pitch to Ferguson, a little bit high to the right-hander for ball 1. It is very much a swirling wind. If you go look at the flags out in center field, it is straight. The wind is blowing straight out into center field. That one fouled back into the netting. So if we get a fly ball, especially towards center, it could go a long ways. The 1-1 now to Ferguson. That one's a little high and outside as well for ball 2. So 2-1 count to Anthony Ferguson. Pablo Guzman still over there on first base. Here comes the 2-1. That one bounced in front of home plate, stopped by Phillips. Keeps it in front of him. So now 3-1 count to Ferguson. Cooper Stallman waiting on deck. Cleanup man. Love to have an opportunity with a runner in scoring position to start this game off. Here comes the 3-1. That one's hit hard right at Tyler Reese at third base. Stops it, throw over to second in time. Back over to first in time for a 5-4-3 double play to close out the inning. So the Expos get one on. Can't do anything with them. Stays 0-0 as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. You're listening to Trooper Baseball on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
Getting behind the wheel is likely the most dangerous thing you'll do this week. Yet too many of us in Wyoming continue to ignore the best way to improve our odds in a crash. The 3 seconds it takes to buckle your seatbelt can mean the difference between life and death in a rollover crash. Just 3 seconds. It's simple. It's effective. So why are we still not doing it? Buckle up, Wyoming. Click it or ticket. This message brought to you by WYDOT.
Are you thinking of building your dream home? If you're looking for a smooth process with a dependable team, First Northern Bank of Wyoming is here for you. Hi, I'm Teresa Rice, and I can't wait to work with you and your contractor as you build your beautiful new home. I'm here to help oversee your budget, ensure timely payments, as well as offer inspections as your project progresses. What are you waiting for? Stop by our office at 29 North Gould or call 673-7777. I love what I do. Let me do it for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 402576.
This is AJ Sayre with Sheridan Physical Therapy, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Troopers will come to the plate, still tied 0-0 heading into the bottom half of the first. Taking a look at the lineup for the Troopers here. Tyler Hutton will lead things off. Batting second, Cale Hamrick. Batting third, Tyler Reeson. In the cleanup spot, Evan Barney. Batting fifth, Dyson Murner. Blaine Phillips batting sixth. Lath Brown batting seventh. Dom DeStefano batting eighth, and rounding things out, Tanner Hamrick in the 9-hole spot. Defensive assignments for the Billings Expos. Pitching on the mound, Adam Johnson. At catcher is John Dolan. At the first base position is Pablo Guzman. At second base is Colton Wells. At third base, Anthony Ferguson. At shortstop, Cooper Stallman. In left field, Royce Fisher. In center field, Braden Rivera. And rounding things out in right field is Cannon Hoff. So ready things to go here in this bottom half of the first. James Timberlake along with Coleman Hanchett on the cameras here for today. If you want to go and watch this game, head over to SheridanMedia.com. We are broadcasting it live. Check it out over there. If not, you can tune in 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO if you're on the road or something like that. First pitch to Tyler Hutton from Adam Johnson. A little bit inside to the lefty for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. That one's outside for ball 2. So quick hitters count for Tyler Hutton. And the 2-0, that one's a little bit high and outside as well. So 3-0 count. And here comes the 3-0. That one's in there. Hutton was taking all the way for strike 1. And the 3-1 is low and outside, so a walk for Tyler Hutton, a leadoff walk to get things going here for the Troopers in this bottom half of the first. That's going to bring up Cale Hamrick. We're going to get time really quick because Tyler Hutton's tying his shoe down there over on first base. Cale Hamrick so far this season, he started off a little bit slow, but since then he's hitting .370 on the season with a .532 on base percentage. Turn it around pretty quickly, as it was, like I said, it was a pretty slow start to the season for him, but he has turned it around. Got 3 doubles, 2 triples on the season, 17 RBI. That 17 RBI leads the team. As he squares around a bunt here, does pop it up. It's in third base foul territory. It's going to land safely. He was putting it down the right foul line, just fouled it off. So we'll see what the Troopers do here. Hutton's still on first base. Hutton could steal a bag if he wants to, but if you can make it safe, just get a bunt down and get him over there on second. Immediately threatening and scoring position. Here comes the 0-1 from Johnson. As Hutton is going here, and the throw down, not in time. Hutton steals a bag. And that was a ball inside to Cale Hamrick as well. So the 1-1 now with Hutton on second base. Swung on and missed by Hamrick. He wanted all of that one. Big swing and a miss. Hamrick looking to add to that team leading RBI total, 17 on the season. Here comes the 1-2. That one's outside. It's going to get past the catcher as well. And that's going to allow Hutton to move up to third base. So now Hutton really threatening. If anything is put in the outfield from Hamrick, that will almost be certainly scoring Hutton. Still no outs here in the inning for the Troopers. Two-two count now to Hamrick. And here it comes from Johnson. That one outside as well. So that'll make it a 3-2 count. Johnson in danger of walking 2 straight batters here to lead off the game. Two count now to Hamrick. Here it comes. That one kind of checked, swinged at, but it lined it right to the first baseman, Guzman. A check swing line out to the first baseman for Hamrick. That is unfortunate. Tyler Reese going to come to the plate now as the 3-hole hitter. Still Hutton over there on third base. First pitch that Reese sees pops it up first base side, foul and out of play. And here comes the 0-1 to Reese. That one low, blocked nicely by the catcher back there, John Dolan. Keeps that in front of him and keeps Hutton over there at third base. The less free runs you can allow is usually puts you in the better position to win ball games, especially in the American Legion. Here comes the 1-1 to Reese. That one's fouled off as well. Gets in between the screen and the ceiling, the roof, I guess I should say. So now 1-2 count to the 3-hole hitter, Tyler Reese. And here it comes. That one's a little bit high and inside. 4-2. One down in the inning here for the Troopers. Cale Hamrick lined out to Pablo Guzman over there at first base. And here comes the 2-2. That one a little bit inside, nearly hits Reese. So it'll be a 3-2 count here. 3 straight 3-ball at bats for Johnson. And here comes the 3-2. That one's high as well. It's going to be behind the catcher as well, and Hutton's going to try to come home and score, and he is safe at home plate. So it's a walk and a run as Hutton comes home to score on the wild pitch. That's going to bring up Avon Barney with Reeson over there on first base now after the walk. So a one-run lead, 1-0 lead for the Troopers. And it's 2 walks for Johnson here in this first inning. Pickoff move towards Reeson. Back in time. The ball dribbles away, but Reeson going to stay at first base. First pitch to Barney, squares around a bunt. It's a high one, though. High pitch, so that'll stay. So he pulls back, it'll make it a 1-0 count. Troopers haven't played since last Sunday. Took on the Billings Royals. They lost in a doubleheader against the Royals, but up to that point, they had won 7 in a row. So 7-2 in their last 9. 1-0 to Barney. That one's a check swing, but no swing, and it's low for ball 2. So 2-0 count to Avon Barney as he steps in and is ready to go. And here comes the 2-0. That one catches the outside corner to the lefty for strike 1. Billings Expos teams, they're 13-9-1 on the season. They do have a tie. Their offense has been pretty lights out so far this season, especially recently. They won 21-5 versus the Flyers yesterday, and a pickoff move gets behind Pablo Guzman at first base, and Reeson is going to be able to move up to second base. So the E1 puts another runner in scoring position for the Troopers. But yeah, this offense for the Expos, 21 runs in the game against the Flyers on Saturday. They had 16 runs and a win last Sunday. 14 runs and a win last Sunday as well, as Barney squares around a bunt but pulls back once again. That'll make it a 3-1 count. They had 13 runs and a win on last Thursday, or 2 Thursdays ago, I should say. So, high-octane offense for this Expos team, especially recently. Pickoff move towards second base, and Reeson's back in time. But another 3-ball count here to a Trooper batter. And here comes the 3-1 to Barney. That one's high as well, and that's going to allow Barney to get on for free. So that's 3 walks in the inning. 3 out of the 4 batters faced have been walked by Adam Johnson. So Reeson at second base and Barney at first, and that's going to bring up Dyson Murner, right fielder for this Trooper squad. 1 down in the inning still. And here comes the first pitch to Dyson. That one's outside for ball 1. And here comes the 1-0. That one swung on and missed by Murner for strike 1. Here comes the 1-1 to Dyson. He squares around. It's in there for strike 2, though. He pulled back, thinking it was a ball, but it was in there. So 1-2 count out of Murner. Runners on first and second. He swings and pops one up sky high. The wind is probably going to be a factor in this one. It's third base side. caught cleanly by the third baseman in foul territory. So a pop out for Dyson Murner. Good job by the third baseman over there, Anthony Ferguson, to deal with the win and still make the play. That's going to bring up Blaine Phillips, the sixth man to come to the plate here for the Troopers in this first inning. Still only one across, though. Troopers would like to get at least one more, if possible, with Reeson over there still on second base. Here comes the first pitch to Blaine. That one's a little high and outside for ball one. As we're going to get time really quick from Blaine Phillips. One 0 count now to Phillips, and that one in there for strike one. So a 1-1 count now to Phillips. Runner still on first and second. Here it comes, swung on and missed by Phillips. So 1-2 count, 2 down in the inning here for the Troopers. Reeson over still on second. Barney on first. And here comes the 1-2 high for ball two. So 3 out of the 5 batters faced by Adam Johnson. He's walked, but only one has come across for the Troopers. Not necessarily disappointing, but the Troopers would like to have a little bit more. Here comes the 2-2 to Phillips, as that one's low and inside for a 3-2. And now the runners will be going once the pitch is thrown. And pickoff move back to Reeson. Tried to get him leaning as he was going to be going, obviously with the 3-2 count and 2 down. But he's back in time. Good way to kind of get a free out there if you can keep it, without throwing an error or anything like that. Here comes the 3-2. Runners going. That's high as well for ball four. So a fourth walk here for Adam Johnson. He is struggling to find the zone. And the bases will be loaded for the first baseman, Lath Brown. Reeson on third. Barney on second. And now Phillips on first. 2 down in the inning, 1 across for the Troopers. It's a 1-0 lead. Here comes the first pitch to Lath. There's a breaking ball that broke back over the inside of the plate to the righty for strike one. Lath trying to kind of turned away from it, thinking it was going to hit him. 0-1 count now to Lath. And here it comes. That one also inside curveball. That one was even closer to hitting him. But just missed him. That one will be inside for ball one. And here comes the 1-1. That one's hit back up the middle right towards the shortstop for Billings. And in time, steps on second base. Man, that was closer than it probably needed to be. But steps on second base for the third out of the inning. Troopers only get one across, get a bunch on. Only get one across. We head to the top half of the second inning. You're listening to Trooper Baseball here on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
We all know there are morning people and not so morning people. But now that McDonald's has bagels, the morning people demographic might just have to make room for some new members of the club. Talk about a game changer.
There's no better way to wake up. Try McDonald's hearty steak, egg, and cheese bagel with a juicy steak patty and grilled onions, fluffy eggs, and melty cheese. Or try one with smoky bacon or savory sausage at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, this is Elizabeth.
JT.
And Dr. Dempsey with EBA Hearing and Sound. May is Better Hearing and Speech Month. We invite you to take a proactive approach to your overall health and reconnect to the vibrant and beautiful world through better hearing.
Connection is the key to happiness. Enhance your joy, protect your mental acuity, and find ease in communication through better hearing. Our staff offers comprehensive hearing exams, tinnitus support, prescriptive hearing aids, and more.
Celebrate Better Hearing and Speech Month. Call today, 674-8920. That's 674-8920.
Hi, this is DJ Dearcorn of First Federal Bank and Trust, and you are listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Troopers get one across as they got five runners on. They had four on with the bases, I guess 3 on. Bases were loaded with Leith Brown up to the plate with a chance to not necessarily break it open, but extend their lead pretty comfortably if Leith was to get one into the gap or something like that. But nonetheless, only one comes across. Troopers lead 1-0. Evan Barney still on the bump. We're going to see 4, 5, 6 for the Expos. Cooper Stallman will lead things off as the cleanup man. Nothing to clean up here. He's leading things off, which is right where you want the cleanup man. If you can get the cleanup man just hanging out, leading off innings, you're feeling pretty good. As we are ready to go. And Stallman steps in. And the first pitch to Stallman from Barney. A little bit outside for ball 1. And the 1-0 misses as well, so a 2-0 count quickly to Stallman. And the 2-0 popped foul, first base side. Leith Brown's going to give it a look, and he makes the play over in foul territory for out number 1. So the 4-hole man goes down quietly. That's going to bring up Royce Fisher, batting out of the 5 spot. As the first pitch to Royce Fisher swung on and missed for strike 1. As Barney is working in his true trademark speed fashion, swung on and missed by Royce Fisher there. And that makes it an 0-2 count. And here comes the 0-2. That one low. Gets behind Phillips, but nobody on, so no worries. I get a 1-2 count. Fisher, no batting gloves. I'll always point that out. Somebody's rocking the no batting gloves. It's a rare sight. Here comes the 1-2. That one's in there for strike 3. Barney knew it right when he threw it. He was walking off the mound ready to receive the throw around. Second strikeout for Barney. That's going to bring up John Dolan, catcher for this Expos team. Here comes the first pitch to Dolan. Swung on and missed. Gets him a little bit with a sword. So he was falling down. So 1 count now to Dolan. And here it comes. Just a little bit outside. That was a good pitch from Barney, but just missed to the righty. Here comes the 1-1. That one's a little bit low for ball 2. 2-1 count now to Dolan. 2 down in the inning. And here comes the 2-1. And that one lined into right field. It's going to get down. Fair ball. It's going to allow Dolan to get over to second base. And he's going to hold up there with a 2-out double. And that was about as good of a piece of opposite field hitting as you're going to see. Lined it right down the right field line. Landed probably an inch off of the foul line over there in right field. You do not see that type of hitting very often in American Legion Baseball. Good approach there by John Dolan. That's going to bring up Tegan Murphy, DH. He's a lefty. It's a lefty-lefty matchup here. The runner on second now after the two-out double. First pitch to Barney, or from Barney. He's in there for strike one to Murphy. And here comes the 0-1 from Barney. That one just misses outside for ball one. One count now to Murphy. As Barney gets his sign, and here it comes. In there for strike two. Looked like a breaking ball. Well placed. 1-2 count now to Murphy. Runner on second, 2 down in the inning. Trooper still with a 1-0 lead. And here comes the 1-2. That one gets Murphy on the ankle. So a free bag after putting Murphy down 1-2. Barney not happy with himself there. Anytime you get somebody down 1-2 and you allow a free bag, not ideal, but he knows that. So now runners on first and second. Still 2 down. It's going to bring up Braden Rivera, hitting from the 8-hole spot. We're getting a time here as Murphy's down there on first base, walking it off over there. That was basically smack dab on his foot. Did not feel good, I would imagine. But he's ready to go, and so is Braden Rivera. Barney looking to get himself out of a jam now. Runners on first and second. Started off the inning, 2 straight batters sit down. Now, after the leadoff double and the hit batsman, runners on first and second, 2 down in the inning. First pitch to Rivera is low for ball one. And here comes the 1-0. That one's outside as well, so a 2-0 count now. And Barney's just got to try to get it over the plate, calm down a little bit. Not thrilled with himself, obviously, after getting 2 outs. But still a possibility, no damage done if he can get the out here. Here comes the 2-0. That one's outside as well, so make it a 3-0 count to the righty. Cannon Hoff on deck. And here comes the 3-0. That one's in there for strike one. And the 3-1 from Barney. That one catches the outside corner, so that'll be making a 3-2 count. 3-2, 2 down. Runners will be going. And here it comes. Swung on and missed. Barney gets out of it, leaves 2 on. Trooper still lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. You're listening to Trooper Baseball here on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWIO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
Planning a project that requires block, brick, or stone? You need to contact the folks at Thompson Master Masons. They have the largest selection of brick and stone in town and 38 years of experience behind their work. Chances are, if it can be done, they've done it. Let Thompson's help you choose the best application for your specific project, residential or commercial. Give Thompson Master Masons a call, 672-7971, or stop by their showroom at 135 East 11th Street.
Rooting for the home team is the Wyoming way, and the banks of Buffalo, Gillette, and Sheridan are the 307's biggest fans. Banking with us means you're doing more than ever to support school sports because your money stays right here in our community. We're proud to recognize our hard-working athletes with youth sponsorships, and the local difference means the familiar faces you know and trust for your banking needs are the same ones cheering with you up in the stands. BuffaloFed.Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm County Commissioner Christy Haswell, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Welcome back to Trooper Baseball. Troopers leading 1-0 after Barney's able to work out of that 2-out jam. And we will head to the bottom half of the second. Dom DeStefano will lead things off at the 8-hole spot, and then followed by Tanner Hamrick. And then back to the top of the lineup with Tyler Hutton. Still Adam Johnson over there on the mound for the Expos as well. Johnson struggled a little bit in that first inning. Walked, make sure I got this right, 4 guys in that first inning. But only one came across to score, and it was Tyler Hutton. So the leadoff man was the only one to come across and score, even though he saw 7 guys. First pitch to DeStefano here in this bottom half of the second. Good breaking ball. Gets over the plate for strike 1. That was nasty. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and missed by DeStefano. Check swing there, but he definitely went around. So quick 0-2 count to DeStefano. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on, dribbled towards the shortstop over there. Doesn't field it cleanly, gets behind him, and that's going to allow DeStefano to reach safely. Going to go down as an E6. And maybe not the start that they dreamed up of in this bottom half of the second, but if you're reaching on an error, you're pretty happy nonetheless. And the first pitch to the 9-hole hitter, Tanner Hamrick, he squares around but pulls back as it's a little bit high for ball 1. And here comes the 1-0 to Tanner Hamrick. She squares around again, gets the bunt down, great bunt towards the third base side. Only play is towards first, and they get Hamrick over at first, but that moves DeStefano up to second base. Perfect sac bunt by Tanner Hamrick. And that's going to bring the top of the lineup back to the plate in Tyler Hutton. Hutton walked and then came around to score the lone run of this game so far back in the first. Now runner on second. He can do some damage of his own if he wants. First pitch to Hutton, and that one's hit pretty well into left field, but played perfectly, the left fielder, and is fielded cleanly for the out. That's going to bring up Cale Hamrick. Hamrick lined out to the first baseman on kind of a check swing. That was put into play very unfortunately. But now make up for it here with the runner on second. Put one in the outfield. Could possibly score another one at double the lead. First pitch to Cale. Outside for ball 1. One-0 to Hamrick. DeStefano still on second. Here it comes. That one's outside as well. Good block again by John Dolan. Keeps that in front of him. Doesn't allow DeStefano to make the move towards third base. Two-0 count now to Cale Hamrick. And here it comes. That one's low and inside for ball 3. So 3-0 count now to Hamrick, probably taking all the way, I'd imagine. Here it comes. And that one in there for strike one as he was taking. Now 3-1 count to Cale Hamrick. DeStefano still in second. 1-0 lead for the Troopers. Looking to double it here if he can. And here comes to Hamrick. That one's inside for ball 4. So another walk forced by a Trooper batter. That's 5 so far today. 5 so far today, and we are in the bottom of the second inning. That's going to bring up Tyler Reeson. He walked as well back in the first. RBI opportunity for him as well. And here comes the first pitch to Reeson. He pops it up foul territory. It's going to land safely, though. It wasn't very high. Caught it off his hands, it looked like. There is a monster gap in right center field for Tyler Reeson, just begging to be hit into. It looks as if Moses has parted the Red Sea in right center field. Here comes the 0-1 to Reeson, and that one's outside for ball 1. Still runners on first and second for the Troopers, 2 down. And here comes the 1-1. That one's a little bit high as well for ball 2. If you're Reeson, though, you'll take a walk as well. Walked 5 so far. Johnson has. And here comes the 2-1. That one hit right back up the middle. Not very hard. It's going to be grabbed by the shortstop and flipped over to the second baseman at second for out number 3. So Troopers get 2 more on, but none come across. Still a 1-0 lead for the Troop as we head to the top half of the third inning. You're listening to Trooper Baseball on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
When it comes to your family's health care, everybody's needs are different. You might be under stress from work. Your daughter needs a physical, while your youngest needs immunizations. One Health is the one place where the whole family can receive integrated care. That's primary health care, mental health services, chronic care management, and more. Because at One Health, our integrated approach takes care of the whole you and your whole family. Learn more at onechc.org/integrated.
Did you know Sheridan Motors is Sheridan's only locally owned and operated new vehicle dealership? That means when we thrive, Sheridan directly benefits. We're proud to support our hometown through sponsorships, good deeds, and excellent full-time jobs with benefits. Stop by your locally owned and operated Sheridan Motors to check out our incredible selection and find out what's coming soon. We know you have a choice when it comes to shopping for new and used cars, servicing your vehicle, and purchasing tires. On behalf of Sheridan Motors' entire team, thank you for your business.
Hi, this is Ken Balkenbush with Prime Rate Motors and Super Trailer Store, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Welcome back to Trooper Baseball. Got a new pitcher on the mound for the Troopers here. And it looks like it's Will Greer who's going to come in and pitch. Looks like it's the only substitution I could tell so far, as Barney will come and sit down. So just a straight swap as it seems right now. As Will Greer will come in to pitch, and Evan Barney will sit down. Just getting Barney some work. Not a conference game. So Barney finishes the day. 2 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, no runs for the Expos. So pretty good outing again for Evan Barney. And Will Greer will get things started facing 9-1-2 in the lineup for the Expos. Cannon Hoff will lead things off. That rhymed. Not intentional. Will Greer ready to go. Here comes the first pitch to Cannon. And that was a little bit low and outside from the right-hander for ball 1. And here comes the 1-0. That one's outside as well, so make it a 2-0 count. Here comes the 2-0 from Greer. That one catches the inside corner for strike one. So a 2-1 count to Hoff, the right fielder for the Expos. It's his first plate appearance so far today in the top of the third. Here comes the 2-1. That one outside for ball three. And here comes the 3-1 from Greer. That one's inside, so that'll be a leadoff walk from the 9-hole man for Billings. To bring the top of the order back to the plate, Pablo Guzman. He's singled back in the first inning. Was the victim to a 5-4-3 double play, though, over there at second base. Hoff over on first. And the first pitch to Guzman is outside. It's going to get past Blaine Phillips as well and allows Hoff move up to second base. So no outs in the inning, and immediately the Expos threatening with Barney coming off the mound. And a 1-0 count to Guzman. We're going to get time here as we get Phillips, the catcher, going to have a conversation with Will Greer on the mound. Getting checked up on signs, I believe. Now we're ready to go. And here we go. Guzman back in the box. Hoff still over on second base. No outs in the inning. 1-0 count to Guzman. And here it comes. That one in there for strike one. Got the inside part of the plate, it looked like. And here comes the 1-1. That one's outside for ball two to the right-handed hitter. Two-one count. Greer comes ready. And here comes that one outside. That was a 3-1 count, excuse me. No, it was a 2-1 count. Guzman dropped the bat and was running towards first base like it was ball four, but it was a 2-1 count. But now it's a 3-1 count after the ball. Got a little over-anxious, or overzealous, I guess. And here comes the 3-1. That one bounced right over the head of Will Greer. The pitcher's mound, fielded cleanly by Cale Hammer. He throws over to first in time to get Guzman, but moving up is Cannon Hoff to third base. That's going to bring up Colton Wells. And the first pitch to Colton Wells swung on and missed. Wells struck out looking back in the first. And that one chopped right at Michael Greer again. This time he fields it. Throw over to first in time for out number two. That holds Hoff over at third base as well. So now the Troopers on the verge of getting out of this with no damage done after a leadoff walk. Anthony Ferguson coming to the plate. 2 down in the inning. First pitch that Ferguson sees gets behind Blaine Phillips. Here comes Cannon Hoff from third, and he scores safely. I may have jinxed that one there. I could take the blame for that. It's all right. That was immediately after I said it, too. That was unfortunate. So that'll make it a 1-1 ball game. on the wild pitch. Cannonhoff scores. Now bases are empty. 1-0 count to Anthony Ferguson as we are tied in the top half of the third here. And that one lined into left field for a base hit from Anthony Ferguson. So you know what? Cannonhoff would have scored there anyways. So I'm not going to take the blame for the jinx. Still singled. Runner on first now. As Ferguson's on after the single. That's going to bring up Cooper Stallman, the cleanup man. Popped out to Leith Brown over there in the second inning. And Ferguson is going, and he's going to stand up safely as Blaine Phillips got the ball behind him, and now Ferguson's going to try to get to third as well, and he does. And then the ball bounces into left field as well, and Ferguson's going to make a run towards home plate, and he's safe at home plate. The rare stolen base attempt at second that leads to him coming all the way around and scoring a run. You do not see that very often. So now Cooper Stallman will have the bases empty with a 2-1 lead and a 1-0 count. And the 1-0 he watches outside for ball two. Still 2 down in the inning here for the Troopers. As that one is popped foul first base side, and it's going to get out of play. Two-one count now as Stallman watches that one outside as well. So a 3-1 count to the 4-hole hitter. Two-one lead now for the Expos after 2 have come across here in this inning. And Greer looking to get out of it here, but walks Stallman here on a low pitch. And that will bring up Royce Fisher. Excuse me, his name is Race Fisher. Apologize. Not Royce Fisher, Race Fisher. Wrote that down incorrectly. First pitch to Race Fisher here in his second at bat from Greer is fouled off, out of play. That one definitely hit someone's car. I could hear it through the headphones, which, not good. That's the danger. 0-1 count now to Fisher. And here it comes, swung on and missed. The throw down as the runner's going. And Stallman's in there in time with a stolen base. But Race Fisher now with an 0-2 count. He struck out looking back in the second inning. Looking to avoid his second consecutive strikeout if possible. And here comes the 0-2 from Greer. That one's outside for ball one. Like I said, Fisher was not wearing batting gloves the first time he was up, and I may be incorrect. He's wearing one batting glove on his lead hand. His left hand, which that's even more unusual than no batting gloves. Here comes the 1-2. That one gets Fisher right in the back. So he'll go to first base after being down 1-2 on the count. And that's going to bring on Austin Cowan for the Troopers head coach. Have a conversation with his pitcher. But runners will be on first and second here as we conclude this meeting, assuming it's just a calm conversation. Please don't give up free bases. It's usually how that conversation goes. It is killer. Maybe talking about dinner as well. Who knows? It's getting close. Just trying to calm down the pitcher as well. Think about something else. As you do, you talk about food. Austin Cowan walks off. Greer still on the mound. Runners on first and second now. 2 down in the inning. Troopers have had 2 down for a while. Since the third batter in this inning. And now trying to do quick math here, the 6th batter in the inning will come to the plate. In John Dolan, excuse me. Here comes the first pitch to Dolan. That one's outside for ball 1. 1-0 count to Dolan. Runners still on first and second. 2-1 lead now for the Expos. And here it comes. Nope, pickoff move over to second base, but back in time is Cooper Stallman. Third base coach for the Expos is asking for a balk, but not going to be given. Here comes the 1-0. That one a little bit low and inside to the righty for ball 2. So quickly a 2-0 count to Don Dolan, the catcher. Dolan had that double back in the second, opposite field double back in the second inning. And another pickoff move towards second base. That one was a little bit closer, but back in time is Cooper Stallman. That's probably one of the closer pickoff moves we've seen this year, at least since I've been calling the games. Don't get many of those, I'll be honest with you. We don't see very many pickoffs. But that one was close. Here comes the 2-0. That one outside as well to Dolan. So now 3-0 count to the 6-hole hitter. Greer's got to calm down a little bit. Just get it over the plate. Easier said than done, but, you know. So 3-0 now from Greer. Here it comes. That one in there for strike 1. There you go. Catches the outside corner. And here comes the 3-1. That one's hit hard right at Tanner Hamrick at second base. He fields it cleanly. Throw over to first in time for out number 3. So the Expos do get 2 across to take the 2-1 lead. We head to the bottom half of the third. Troopers trailing 2-1. You're listening to Trooper Baseball on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
The law offices of Chapman, Valdez, and Lansing has offices in Sheridan and Casper ready to protect the freedoms and rights of the citizens of Wyoming. Michael Lansing, McCole Soto, and Maid McCool provide competent local legal counsel focused on small businesses, real estate transactions, guardianships, employee protections, and personal injury. Michael, McCole, and Wade will aggressively, timely, and ethically protect your rights 24/7. Proud to support all local youth activities.
Raise your hand if you're looking forward to spring or summer. All of us at Kilpatrick Creations certainly are. Family reunions, fundraising events, third Thursdays. Lots of opportunities for custom t-shirts, hats, and promo gear. Whatever you need to outfit your event coming up, Kilpatrick Creations is your best option in all of Sheridan County. We'll design your artwork, help you pick out just the right item for your budget, and in the end, provide you with quality, affordable custom gear. Only Kilpatrick Creations on Brundage Street in downtown Sheridan can do this for you.
Hi, this is Jeff Tomlinson with Stiefel Financial, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Welcome back to Trooper Baseball. Troopers now trailing 2-1 as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. Adam Johnson still on the mound for the Expos. So we're going to get Will Greer coming to the plate here to lead things off. If he came in to pitch for Alvin Barney, he will bat in the 4-hole, and it's followed by Dyson Murner and then Blaine Phillips. That's what we got coming up in the lineup for the Troopers. A lot of free bags here in this game so far. Not necessarily so much from the Troopers, but the Expos given up quite a bit of walks. Troopers have just not been able to capitalize on them so far. And the Troopers in that last inning struggled a little bit more with 2 walks and 1 hit batsman. And that did end up costing them a couple runs. So See if there's any adjustment here. First pitch to Greer from Johnson. Swung on and missed by the new pitcher for the Troopers. Strike one. Here comes the 0-1 to Greer. That one's low and inside for ball one. Yeah, 5 walks so far for Adam Johnson, pitcher for the Expos. And that one swung on, popped right field. Wind died out a little bit, so right fielder's not going to have a big issue, and he fields it cleanly for out number 1. That's going to bring up Dyson Murner. Dyson popped out to the third baseman back in the first inning, so he's 0 for 1 on the day. And here comes the first pitch in his second at-bat. That one swung on, popped up, this time first base side, and fielded cleanly by Guzman over there at first base. He's popped up on opposite sides of the field in his 2 plate appearances. That's going to bring up Blaine Phillips. 3 pitches pitched so far from Johnson. See if Blaine can slow it down just a little bit. And the first pitch to Blaine. That one fouled off into the net behind home plate. Here comes the 0-1. That one chopped foul first base side, so quickly an 0-2 count to Blaine Phillips. Here comes the 0-2 to Blaine. That one's outside for ball 1. Troopers trailing 2-1 after Expos get 2 across in the top half of the third. Troopers had 1 come across in the bottom half of the first. The 1-2 way outside for ball 2. Now 2-2 count to Blaine Phillips. He's battled back a little bit here. And here comes the 2-2. That one's outside as well. So now Phillips worked a full count after going down 0-2. Good at bat for Blaine. If he can get on safely. We're going to get time from Adam Johnson on the mound. He's going to tie his shoe. He's actually taken his entire shoe off. Maybe a sole problem? Can fix that with a little Motown. That was a bad one. Now he's ready to go. Shoe tied, shoe on, and shoe tied. So 3-2 count to Blaine Phillips. Still 2 down in the inning. 2-1 lead for the Expos. Here comes the 3-2. Swung on and missed by Blaine Phillips. So the Troopers go down 1-2-3. We head to the top half of the 4th inning. You're listening to Trooper Baseball, 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO, and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
Wherever you are, you'll find a branch of Sheridan Community Federal Credit Union. And here's why. If you have a Sheridan Community Federal Credit Union account and a smartphone or other mobile device, visit SheridanCreditUnion.com. Download the free app, and your smart device becomes an internet mobile banking device with all kinds of banking features. So, regardless of your location, Sheridan Community Federal Credit Union is in the palm of your hand. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
If you have employees coming to stay for an extended time in Sheridan, make them feel at home with a room at the Candlewood Suites. These extended stay rooms feature fully equipped kitchens, including a microwave, full-sized refrigerator, dishwasher, stovetop, even pots and pans, and free guest laundry. Did I mention the outstanding view of the Bighorns? Book your reservation with the Candlewood Suites and relax knowing they'll have more than just a room. They'll feel right at home. Call 307-675-2100.
Hi, this is Brent Wolf with Sheridan Motors, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Welcome back to Trooper Baseball. Troopers trailing 2-1 here as we head to the top half of the fourth inning. Will Greer still on the mound for the Troop as we are set to get things going here. Tegan Murphy, 7-hole man, is going to lead things off, followed by Braden Rivera and then Cannon Hoff. As we are ready to go here, Murphy steps in, the lefty, and Greer steps on the mound. Here we go. Top half of the fourth, Troopers trailing 2-1. The first pitch to Murphy, outside for ball one. And the 1-0 in there for strike one to Murphy. And that one chopped towards first base side. Lath Brown, he's going to field it cleanly. Just steps on the bag for out number one. That's going to bring up Braden Rivera. Rivera struck out swinging back in the second inning. And the first pitch to Rivera catches the outside corner for strike one. Here comes the 0-1. That one's high and inside for ball one. Update for you for those interested. The Pacers knock out the New York Knicks in Game 7 as the 1-1's chopped foul third base side out of play. Pacers run it up 130-109 over the Knicks. Pacers were down 3-2 heading into Game 6. They win the final two games and win that series in 7. Then we'll go to the Eastern Conference Finals as Rivera pops one up. Foul out of play. Pacers will go on to play the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. 1-2 to Rivera. Greer is ready. And here it comes. Just a little bit inside as a breaking ball. Just missed. So make it a 2-2 count. Another Game 7 going on this evening. The Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets, will host the Timberwolves, Minnesota Timberwolves. That's at 6 o'clock tonight. Rivera watches ball 3 outside. So 3-2 count to Rivera. Winner of that game will go on to take on the Dallas Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. Could see a repeat of last year's Western Conference Finals if the Nuggets win that one. Here comes the 3-2 to Rivera. Catches the outside corner for strike 3. Rivera's second strikeout of the game. That's going to bring up Cannon Hoff. And Hoff walked back in the third, came around to score as well. And the first pitch you see there swings and misses for strike one. Here comes the 0-1 to Hoff. Catches the outside corner for strike two. A much better job here by Will Greer in this inning. Limiting the balls and whatnot. Limiting walks. Quickly an 0-2 count to the 9-hole man Hoff. Here it comes. That one low and inside for ball one. And here comes the 1-2. That one catches. No, I thought it caught the outside corner, but it was a little bit outside, so make it a 2-2 count. 2 down the inning. Greer looking to make it 1-2-3 here in this top half of the fourth. Here comes the 2-2. That one just missed. Greer was ready to run towards the dugout. So was half of the Trooper team, but just missed. That'll make it a full count to the 9-hole man. And here comes the 3-2. Swung on and missed. Gets Hoff swinging. So the Expos do go down 1-2-3 here in the top half of the fourth. We head to the bottom half of the fourth. Troopers trailing 2-1. We will be right back. You're listening to Trooper Baseball on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
Mossholders Design Center proudly supports our young student athletes in Sheridan County. Being a member of a successful team takes determination, a strong work ethic, and great leadership. It's those qualities that have defined Mossholders over the last 115 years in Sheridan. We're proud of the Mossholders legacy, and we're proud of our local athletes and coaches. Let the talented and hardworking staff at Mossholders help you with your next furniture purchase or design project. Mossholders wishes each and every team the best of luck this season.
Have you been in to see Sheridan YO Sports Cards yet? It's the spot to get your hands on incredible sports cards and memorabilia. Sheridan's premier spot for buying cards. All major sports cards including fighting, wrestling, Pokemon, and even racing. These guys have hobby boxes for the serious collectors and packs for those getting started. Graded slabs from PSA, SGC, and if you have a big card to grade, talk to the guys to have your card submitted to PSA. Family friendly and located inside Sheridan Stationery Books and Gifts, 535 North Main, open 7 days a week.
This is Dr. Michelle Meehan, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
And welcome back to Trooper Baseball. Troopers trailing 2-1 as we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Adam Johnson still on the mound for the Expos. Done a pretty good job working around the walks that he's had so far, the walk issues. Especially in the first inning, but these latter few innings he's done a pretty good job. Lath Brown's going to lead things off for the Troopers, the 7-hole man, followed by Dom DeStefano and Tanner Hamrick in the lineup card. First pitch to Lath Brown. Low and away for ball one. Lath grounded into a 6 unassisted fielder's choice back in the first. Here comes the 1-0 to Lath Brown. Catches the outside corner for strike one. Here comes the 1-1. That one just a little bit inside to the right-hander for ball two. Wind has died down quite a bit since the start of this game. Here comes the 2-1 to Brown. That one misses as well for ball three. It was swirling a lot at the start of this game, but it's not as bad. It's still a little windy out towards center field, but at least up here it's not as bad as it was. Here comes the 3-1. That one fouled off first base side, out of play. My car is safe. Oh, caught the netting. That makes sense. Here comes the 3-2 to Lath Brown. That one pounded into the dirt, third base side. Foul. So it'll stay 3-2 to Lath Brown. I have parked in a very dangerous spot when it comes to this stadium, so I will be frequent. Every time a ball goes up foul, I kind of hold my breath a little bit. Here comes the 3-2 again to Lath. That one swung on and miss. Gets Brown swinging for out number one here in this bottom half of the fourth inning. So Dom DeStefano will come to the plate. He reached on an error back in the second. Got stranded over at second base. First pitch to Dom. A little bit low for ball one. Here comes the 1-0 to Dom. A little bit high for ball two. Here comes the 2-0. That one misses as well. So quickly a 3-0 count to Dom DeStefano. Johnson trying to not give up any free bases again. Here comes the 3-0. That one's in there for strike one. as I said at the beginning of this, Adam Johnson done a pretty good job outside of that first inning where he let a lot of walks. As he does here, he walks Dom DeStefano. But for the most part, been working around the walks, allowing only 1 run so far today. But DeStefano will reach safely on a walk there, and that's going to bring up Tanner Hamrick. He laid down a sac bunt back in the second inning. In this essentially exact same scenario. Dom DeStefano over on first. And Hamrick watches ball 1 inside. Hamrick gets his sign over by Cowan, third base. And he's ready to go. Possibly another bunt sign. The runner on first, 1 down in the inning. Here comes the 1-0 no pickoff move over towards first. Back in time is DeStefano, though. Count to Tanner Hamrick, and the 1-0 catches the outside corner for strike 1. Trevor's looking to tie this ball game up here in the bottom half of the fourth with DeStefano on first, and a 2-1 lead for the Expos. Here comes the 1-1 runner going, pops out of the glove of the catcher, John Dolan, and that allows DeStefano to get a stolen base. And now he is at second. So now 2-1 count to DeStefano. We're going to get time called. Austin Cowan's going to go have a quick word with Corey Hamrick, the umpire. I'm assuming he's having a conversation with Adam Johnson, or about Adam Johnson, possibly balk scenarios or something like that. Because Adam Johnson does, when he's coming set, he does kind of stutter a little bit, which you're always kind of taught to make it one fluid motion if you're coming set as a pitcher with the runner on, because you don't want to give the umpires anything to really think about in that scenario. But he does kind of have that 1 foot stutter, so I wonder if that's what he's talking about. Johnson misses there to Tanner Hamrick on the outside for ball 3. Doesn't stutter towards any direction per se. He's just kind of setting his foot up, but nonetheless. Here comes the 3-1 from Johnson. That one's hammered into left field. It's going to land foul. That was hit really hard by Tanner Hamrick, but just a little bit foul. A couple feet foul down in left field. So a hard hit to strike number 2. Dom DeStefano still on second base after his stolen base. And here comes the 3-2. Chopped. It's going to get towards the first baseman and caught by Guzman over there at first base. That was kind of a bailout swing for Tanner Hamrick, just trying to keep himself alive, put one foul, and he just pops out right towards Guzman over at first base. And that's going to bring up top of the order Tyler Hutton. Dom DeStefano still on second. 2 down in the inning now after the pop-out. First pitch to Hutton. A little bit low and inside for ball 1. DeStefano's trying to make it to third, and he is there safely. The ball gets into left field, and DeStefano's going to try to score, and he does to make it a tie ball game. So the active work on the base pass from DeStefano gets a run in and ties this ball game 2-2. I would say that was a stolen base going to third, but then the E2, the errant throw over to third base, allows DeStefano to score as Hutton watches strike 1. And we are tied here in the bottom half of the fourth inning, 2-2. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on, foul tipped into the glove of John Dolan. So a 1-2 count now. And here comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed by Hutton. Going to have to be a throwdown, and throwdown is there in time, so that'll be a strikeout for Hutton. But the Troopers tie the ball game up. We head to the top half of the fifth inning. 2-2 ball game. You're listening to Trooper Baseball on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
You know what they say, if you're not first, you're last. For all your plumbing demands, choose A-Plus Plumbers and Appliance Repair. Commercial, residential, new construction, remodel jobs, and all repairs in between. A-Plus Plumbers and Appliance Repair, because they are number one in a number two business. Call 672-9454. That's 672-9454.
Give your graduate a gift they can use anywhere with a First Federal Bank and Trust Visa gift card. As a customer, you can load up to $1,000 on a gift card with no purchase fee. With a Visa gift card, they can buy gas, dine out, or treat themselves to something special. The options are endless. Make their big day even more memorable with a First Federal Bank and Trust Visa gift card. Visit First Federal at 671 Illinois Street to purchase yours today. Member FDIC.
This is Terry Winnup with Sheridan Physical Therapy, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Welcome back to Trooper Baseball. Tie ball game heading into the top half of the fifth inning. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, top of the order coming to the plate for the Expos. And Will Greer, still on the mound. Michael Greer's brother. Will Greer, still on the mound for the Troopers. As we get things ready to go here, as Pablo Guzman steps into the box. He singled back in the first and grounded out to the shortstop in the third. So 1 for 2 on the day for Guzman. First pitch he sees, a little bit low and outside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 from Greer. That one a little bit high and inside for ball 2. Guzman playing first and leading off. Not a very common combination you see very often. Playing first and leading off. Comes the 2-0 to Guzman. That one outside for ball 3. Usually you see the first baseman third, fourth, fifth in the lineup, especially in American Legion. But here today, leading off. Here comes the 3-0. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. Here comes the 3-1. That one misses inside for ball 4. So leadoff walk for Guzman. It's going to bring up Colton Wells, second baseman. Wells struck out looking back in the first, and he grounded out to the pitcher back in the third. 0 for 2 on the day. Looks like we're getting some bullpen action going here for the Troopers as well down the left field side. Looks like it's Frankie Maestri going down there and warming up. We have time on the mound here from Blaine Phillips. But we're ready to go now. Again, Colton Wells up to the plate. Pablo Guzman over there on first after the leadoff walk. Tie ball game 2-2 here in the top half of the fifth. Here comes the first pitch, and bunt laid down by Wells. It's going to roll foul on the first base side. That would have been a really good bunt if it had stayed fair, but just rolled foul down the first base line. So an 0-1 count to Wells. We're going to see if they call it again here to Wells. And here comes the 0-1. He lays squares around again. This time it's fair, fielded cleanly by Will Greer. Throws over to first, the only play he has for out number 1, and gets Wells. So that'll go down as a sac bunt for Colton Wells as Pablo Guzman does move up. That's going to bring up the 3-hole hitter, Anthony Ferguson. And here comes the first pitch to Ferguson. Low outside, stopped nicely by Blaine Phillips. That allows, or keeps Guzman over there at second base. Still a 1-0 count, though. Ferguson so far today grounded into a double play back in the first, singled back in the third, came around to score as well. 1 for 2 on the day. And here comes the 1-0. That one chopped third base side. It's going to be fielded by Tyler Reeson. Throw over to first, not in time. And Guzman moves up to third as well. That was just kind of a slow developing play, even though Ferguson was booking it down the first base line. Go down as a first base, an infield single. That's going to allow Cooper Stallman, the cleanup man, to come to the plate with runners on first and third. Stallman popped out to the first baseman back in the second inning and then walked in the third. Now an RBI opportunity for him. Possibly a multiple RBI opportunity. Ferguson's got some wheels as well as he is going, and that one's hit right at Cale Hammerguest. Didn't make a diving attempt at it, and it gets by him, and it's going to roll a long way into the left center gap. And as the runner was going, Ferguson from first base, he's going to score and come around and score. And Guzman comes around to score from third base as well, obviously. So a 2-run double from Cooper Stallman. Gives the Expos the lead again. 4-2 lead now. That ball was hit hard, even though it was on the ground, but it got past Hamrick. He tried to make a diving attempt, and it rolled a long way into the outfield. That's going to bring up the 5-hole man, Race Fisher. He watches ball 1 on the outside. Stallman on second. 1 down still in the inning for the Expos. RBI situation here for Fisher. Here comes the 1-0. That one low and inside for ball 2. Fisher so far today struck out looking back in the second and got hit by a pitch back in the third. Stranded on first. Pickoff move over to second base, but back in time is Stallman. Here comes the 2-0. That one low and outside for ball 3. So Greer quickly in danger here of putting another man on. 2 have come across already. Here comes the 3-0 from Greer. And we're going to get time, actually, beforehand. That one's called by Fisher at home plate. Stallman still on second base after the 2 RBI double. Gives the Expos the lead. And here comes the 3-0 to Fisher. That one's outside as well for ball 3. And the runner was going as well from second base, Stallman, and he gets all the way home after the errant throw from Blaine Phillips. He was trying to force a pickle, it looked like, and the throw down from Phillips got past Hamrick at second base, and that allowed Stallman to come home and score. Just an error, a miscue for the Troopers there. It allows a run as Race Fisher walks as well, and we have John Dolan at the plate now for the Expos. 5-2 lead now for the Expos. One down in the inning, 0-1 count to Dolan after he fouls one back into the net. Here comes the 0-1. That one outside for ball one. The throw down to second base as Fisher was going is not in time. So now another runner in scoring position for the Expos. Here comes the 1-1 to Dolan. And that one outside as well, so make it a 2-1 count. One count now to Dolan. And here it comes from Will Greer. That one popped foul. First base side's going to get out of play. 2-2 count now to John Dolan. Dolan so far today, he doubled back in the second and grounded out to the second baseman back in the third. So 1 for 2 on the day for Dolan. And here comes the 2-2. That one chopped. Third base side is going to get into the hole, into left field. And they're going to wave around Fisher after it was not played cleanly by the left fielder. It's going to be cut off by Reeson, and they're going to get Dolan trying to get to second base. A run does come around to score, though. They had no shot at really getting Fisher there after it was misplayed in left field. But a good cutoff by Reeson at third base, and they are able to get Dolan. Going to go down as an RBI single and thrown out at second base. So a 6-2 lead now for the Expos. Tegan Murphy at the plate as he watches strike one over the plate. And that one chopped right at Will Greer at the pitcher on the mound. He throws over to first base to get Murphy in time. 4 come across for the Expos, though. It's a 6-2 lead as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. You're listening to Trooper Baseball on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
It's been said that for every dollar spent at a locally owned business, it returns 3 times as much income into the local economy. Hi, this is Mandolin Meyer from Hospital Pharmacy West. The money you spend with a locally owned business stays in our community longer. It's just another way to recycle and help our community. When you shop local, we all win. Thank you from all of us at Hospital Pharmacy West.
Hometown pharmacy, hometown care at Hospital Pharmacy West.
Hi, this is Nicole Christensen with First Bank of Wyoming. Our team is always looking for ways to make a positive impact and invest in the communities we serve. Whether it's through volunteering with nonprofits, serving on local boards, or sponsoring organizations and events throughout the area, we are committed to helping our local communities and making a difference. Last year alone, First Bank of Wyoming employees volunteered over 1,000 hours to organizations in our branch areas. We believe that we can create real change and make a lasting impact. First Bank of Wyoming, Division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, this is DJ Dearcorn of First Federal Bank and Trust, and you are listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Welcome back to Trooper Baseball. Cale Hammer going to lead things off for the Troopers. They're trailing 6-2 now after the Expos got 4 across in the top half of the 5th. It's going to be Cale Hamrick, the 2-hole hitter, then followed by Tyler Reeson, then Will Greer, the 4-hole man, to get things started here for the Troops. Adam Johnson still on the mound for the Expos. And here comes the first pitch to Cale. Swung on and missed for strike one. And hacking at a high and inside fastball there. Oh, 1 there. Misses a little bit low and outside for ball 1. One count now to Hamrick. Hamrick so far today lined out to the first baseman as he watches ball 2. A little bit low and away. Lined out to the first baseman back in the first. Walked back in the second. 0 for 1 on the day officially. Comes the 2-1 to Hamrick. In there for strike 2. Catches the outside corner. Here comes the 2-2 to Cale Hamrick. Lined into left field. That's going to be a base hit for Cale. That ball was hit hard right in between the shortstop and third baseman. Anthony Ferguson over at third base made an attempt at it, but was by him nonetheless. So leadoff runner for the Troopers. Tyler Reese is going to come to the plate now. Tyler Reese, so far today, he walked back in the first and grounded into a fielder's choice back in the second. And he lines one into left center. That's going to get down as well. Hamrick's going to get around second base, come to third as it rolls all the way to the wall. He's going to get waved around, and he is going to score on an RBI double from Tyler Reeson. Good piece of hitting there by Tyler Reeson. Just puts it into left center field. Rolls all the way to the wall. First pitch he sees. Now the Troopers looking to get a rally going here. Will Greer will come to the plate with Reeson over on second. 6-3 ball game now. Expos leading. Still no outs in the inning. You're going to get time here from Greer. Very much an up and down ball game for this Trooper squad so far today. Led in the first, then trailed in the third, tied it up in the fourth, and then are trailing again here in the bottom half of the fourth. First pitch to Greer. Catches the outside corner on a curveball for strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 to Greer. He squares around a bunt, gets it down, foul, third base side. Seen a lot of those bunt calls over the last few weeks from Austin Cowan. They've definitely gotten better at them because the first weekend we were here, there was a lot of bunt foul balls. They've done a lot better at getting them down. Missed it there, so it's an 0-2 count. Here comes the 0-2 to Greer. That one lined into right field. That's going to be a base hit. They're going to wave around Tyler Reeson. No, hold him up at third base. And Greer will hold up at first with a single. That's going to bring up Dyson Murner. And we're going to get a meeting on the mound for the Expos. So good job by the Troopers so far. Giving up 4 runs in the top half of this inning. Had 1 come across, 2 have come on right now, and are in striking territory to, at the very least, make this a closer ball game. It's not easy to do. You can get down on yourself when you have an inning like that. A couple of errors, a couple of walks, come around to score, and just balls that are getting hit around your guys in the outfield. That can be kind of degrading, if you will, but the Troopers showing off the mental toughness here, doing a good job. Still a 6-3 ball game, so still some work to do here, but not going down quietly per se. Just having a meeting on the mound, not no pitching change from what I could tell so far. Yeah, same pitchers. Adam Johnson's going to stay in. Just a meeting to calm down his guys, the Expo manager. And now we're ready to go. So Will Greer on first, Reeson on third, Tyler Reeson on third, and Dyson Murner at the plate. Dyson Murner's popped up to the third baseman and popped out to the first baseman in his 2 plate appearances. And the first pitch he sees here just misses inside for ball 1. A breaking ball that missed a little bit inside to the righty. 1-0 count now to Dyson. Here it comes. That one in there for strike one. Got the inside corner there. And here comes the 1-1 to Murner. That one gets behind the catcher as it's inside. That's going to allow Reeson to come home and score on the wild pitch. And Will Greer moves up to second as well. So now it's a 6-4 ball game. Expo still leading. Two-one count now to Dyson Murner. Greer on second. And the 2-1, that one's in there for strike two. Still no outs in the inning here for the Troopers. They put two across already. They inch closer to the 4-run lead that they were trying to cut down here in the inning. Now it's a 2-run lead for the Expos. That one blooped into right center field. It's going to get down in front of the center fielder, and they're going to hold up Will Greer at third base. You'll take him any way you can find him as Murner bloops one into right center field for a single. That's going to bring up Blaine Phillips. And it looks like we are possibly going to get time here. And we are going to get time, so this is going to be a change in pitcher for sure. The second meeting on the mound. So we are going to take a quick break as we get the new pitchers and the substitutions. 6-4 lead for the Expos here as the Troopers have cut it down by 2. Runners still on first and third. You're listening to Trooper Baseball here on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
Attention home seekers and sellers. Are you ready to turn your real estate dreams into reality? Call or come see me, Tristan Geis, at Buffalo Realty ERA Powered, your key to unlocking the perfect real estate experience. With a passion for properties and a knack for matching buyers with their ideal homes, whether you're looking for a starter home, country retreat, or exploring the options of selling, I have the expertise and resources to make it happen. Don't settle and give me a call today. Tristan Geis, Buffalo Realty ERA Powered at 307-217-2331, and let's make it happen.
Hi, this is Ken Stacy at Sheridan College. Registration is now open for our Weekend Welding Certificate program. In just 1 year, you can start your career in welding through this program. Classes are on Friday and Saturday and designed to work around your current job. Plus, scholarships and housing are available for those who qualify. Classes begin Friday, July 19th at Sheridan College. To learn more, call me at 307-675-0787 or visit sheridan.edu/weekend welding. Sheridan College, a higher degree for you.
Hi, this is Jill Bates with the Bates team at Best. Colton, why don't you tell those listening to us what we do?
Sure. Whether buying or selling, our team is focused on delivering the information, assistance, and encouragement to give each real estate deal the best possible outcome.
Nice. Any chance you could tighten it up a little more?
No matter your situation, we're determined to put our best foot forward for all of your real estate needs.
That's pretty good. But what's the bottom line?
At Best, we care a lot.
You bet. Whichever version you choose, our team is committed to you and what you truly want and need with your real estate journey.
Give us a call at 675-BEST and visit bestwy.net today.
Proudly brokered by eXp. Wyoming corporate office is located at 30 North Gould Street in Sheridan, and they provide a myriad of services. What is a registered agent, you may ask? The real question is, what aren't they? Wyoming corporate office can assist you in forming your LLC or Wyoming-based corporation, provide mail forwarding service, and accept legal and financial documents, and so much more. Learn more today by visiting WyomingCorporateOffice.com.
Hi, I'm County Commissioner Christy Haswell, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Cooper Stallman will come in to pitch for the Expos. He'll move in from his shortstop position. Anthony Ferguson will move over from third base over towards shortstop. And then we have a new player coming in. Camden Burgess will come in for the DH and go and play third for the Expos. Those are the changes. Runners on first and second for the Troop. Scoring the bunt is Blaine Phillips. He gets it down. And the throw over to first is in time, gets Phillips, but the run comes home to score. Will Greer was reading that very well. Came about halfway down the line on the bunt and waited for the throw and then broke immediately when the throw was made towards first base. So that'll go down as an RBI bunt, RBI sack bunt by Blaine Phillips. Good work there. So now a runner on second as well, as Murner moved up. And now it's Lath Brown at the plate for the Troopers. You watch ball one on the outside. Here comes the 1-0. That one's in there for strike one. One now to Brown. And here it comes. That one's inside for ball two. So Troopers have brought it back. 6-5 lead now for the Expos. And a runner still in scoring position in Dyson Murner at second base. Here comes the 2-1. That one's outside for ball three. Murner's breaking for third. And the throw down gets Murner at third base. Ball didn't bounce far enough away from John Dolan behind home plate. He makes a good throw over there at third base to get Murner out on the attempted steal. So now no runners on. Lath Brown, 3-1 count to him. He lines one foul, first base side, out of play. So 3-2 count now to Lath Brown. And here comes the 3-2. That one line foul again, first base side, out of play. Basically the same exact spot. So Brown will stay alive. Stays 3-2. And here comes the 3-2 once again. This time hits Brown in the back. He'll take that. Move over to first base. So the Troopers now get a two-out base runner. It's going to bring up Dom DeStefano. Dom so far today reached on an error in the second and walked in the fourth. Came around to score in the fourth as well. First pitch he sees. Catches the outside corner for strike one. Here comes the 0-1. That one bounced at home plate. Stopped nicely by the catcher. John Dolan tries to throw out the runner over on first base, Lath Brown, but Brown gets back in time. John Dolan's done a very good job behind home plate so far today. It's 1-1 count to DeStefano. Here it comes. That one a little bit outside for ball two. Dolan's probably been, of all the teams we've seen come here so far this year, he's probably been the best catcher we've seen. Just in terms of defensive ability. Stefano watches ball three on the outside. Just really has been a wall behind home plate. Made some good throws down at third base, just haven't been fielded very cleanly. Done a stellar job. Here comes the 3-1. That one in there for strike two. So, full count, two down. Lath Brown will be going once the ball is released. And here comes the 3-2. That one hit. Slow ground ball right towards the second baseman. Doesn't field it cleanly, but he gets it in time. And the call is safe as Guzman was pulled off the bag on the throw. Wow. The Troopers stay alive here. So the throw from Colton Wells pulls Guzman off the bag. That allows Lath Brown to also move up to third base as he was hustling. And that will go down as an E4. And now Tanner Hammer coming to the plate for the Troopers. First pitch he sees in there for strike one. Tanner Hammer so far laid down a sac bunt in the second. Popped out to the first baseman in the fourth. Runners on first and third. Two down in the inning. And the 0-1 misses for ball one. Brown over on third. DeStefano on first. Here comes the 1-1. That one's outside. Gets stopped again by Dolan. It was way outside. Had to backhand it. Two-one. Count now to Tanner Hamrick. Tyler Hutton, the leadoff man, waiting on deck. Here comes the 2-1. That one swung on and missed by Tanner. So a 2-2 count now. 2 down in the inning. 6-5 lead for the Expos. Troopers threatening again. As DeStefano tries to do a pickoff move. The runner coming home and safe. Perfectly executed delayed steal by Dom DeStefano. Gets the pitcher kind of a little hesitant. Cooper Stallman, he threw it down to second base. And then right when he threw it down to second base, Lath Brown made the break for home, and he is in safely. So now we got a tie ball game. And DeStefano down on second as well. And swing and a miss by Tanner Hamrick does in the inning. But the Troopers get 4 across, tie the ball game back up again. 6-6. We head to the top half of the 6th. You're listening to Trooper Baseball on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
With summer right around the corner, the outdoors are calling. Will you pick up the phone? Campco Federal Credit Union can help you put the fun in funding your summer adventures. Whether it's an RV for camping, a boat to hit the lake, or a side-by-side to let loose and feel the wind in your hair, Campco Federal Credit Union has the competitive rates to give you a summer to remember. You can apply online now at campcofcu.com or visit us in person at our Gillette, Wright, or Sheridan branches. Campco Federal Credit Union, NCUA, and Equal Housing Lender.
Dealing with bone and joint issues? Schedule a visit with Sheridan Orthopedic Associates. Their board-certified orthopedic surgeons are experts in all aspects of orthopedics, focusing on sports injuries as well as joint problems from the feet, ankles, and knees to the spine and upper extremities. After all, they've been providing the area with surgical excellence and outstanding patient care for almost 50 years. Learn more about Sheridan Orthopedic Associates online at SheridanOrtho.com.
Hi, this is Ken Balkenbush with Prime Rate Motors and Super Trailer Store, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
So the Troopers tie the ball game up with 4 runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Got a new pitcher on the mound for the Troopers. Frankie Maestri will come in relief of Will Greer. Maestri will try to keep this ball game tied and give the opportunity for the Troopers to take the lead heading into the bottom half of the 6th. The lineup that Maestri will face here, 8-9-1. The leadoff Braden Rivera, then Cannon Hoff, and then back to the top of the order, Pablo Guzman. Looks like it's just a straight swap as well, Greer for Maestri, but we'll make those adjustments as we get there, if there is a difference. Doesn't look like it, though, from how I'm looking at it out there right now. So we are ready to go. First pitch to Braden Rivera from Maestri, in there for strike 1. The 0-1 dribbled first base right at Lath Brown. He fields it cleanly, and he'll just step on the bag for out number 1. It's going to bring up Cannon Hoff. Cannon Hoff walked back in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 4th. 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch he sees here is in there for strike 1. Catches the outside corner to the lefty. Ricky Maestri working quickly, throwing some good strikes so far here in his appearance. Here comes the 0-1. That one, as I say that, inside for ball 1. Nearly hits Hoff. Here comes the 1-1. That one's a little bit inside as well, so make it a 2-1 count. Comes the 2-1 from Maestri. That one's dribbled towards Cale Hamrick at short. He hits it off his heel, the heel of his glove. The rare E6 from Cale Hamrick. That allows Cannon Hoff to reach safely. Don't see that very often from Cale Hamrick. That's going to bring the top of the order up. Pablo Guzman. He had a single back in the first, grounded out to the shortstop back in the third, and walked in the fifth so far today. We get a pickoff move back towards first base, but back in time is Hoff. Here comes the first pitch to Guzman in there for strike one. Frankie Macier throwing the ball so hard he's blowing his hat off. Looking like Bartolo Colon. Here comes the 0-1 to Guzman. Check swing. No swing is the call, so it'll be a 1-1 count. Here comes the 1-1 to the leadoff man, Guzman. And that one's outside, misses. Throw down as the runner's going, not in time, or in time actually, but Hamrick dropped it. Tanner Hamrick dropped it out of his glove. That would have been a caught stealing, but nonetheless, Cannon reaches second base. 2-1 count now to Guzman. And here it comes from Frankie. That one in there for strike two. Two to Guzman. And here it comes. Another check swing, but no swing on the outside breaking ball. So it's a full count now to Guzman. Runner on second is Hoff. 6-6 ball game here in the top half of the sixth. Here comes the 3-2. That one outside for ball four. Guzman will reach on a walk. That's going to bring up Colton Wells for the Expos. Wells so far today struck out looking, grounded out to the pitcher in the third, and grounded out to the pitcher in the fifth on a sac bunt as well. First pitch he sees, he fouls off out of play. A 1 count now to Wells. One down in the inning. Runners on first and second. And here it comes. That one fouled off. Third base side this time, out of play. So an 0-2 count now to Wells. Guzman on first and Hoff on second for the Expos. One down in the inning. And here comes the 0-2 to Wells. Fouled off into the net once again. Wells stays alive. Here comes the 0-2 once again. This time it is lined into right center. And going to be a tough play for either the right fielder or center fielder, but runs it down. Dyson Murner does and makes the play. Hoff does tag up from second base and gets to third. But good job by Murner to read that in the air and get over in right center to make the play. So now two down in the inning. Runners on first and third with Anthony Ferguson coming to the plate. Ferguson grounded into a 5-4-3 double play back in the first. Singled that came around to score in the third, and singled that came around to score in the fifth. He's probably been the hottest hitter for the Expos in this game so far, give or take. As a pickoff move and gets behind Lath Brown, and that's going to allow a runner to score Pickoff move at first base. That was not smart. I'm just gonna say that. I didn't like that move. You got 2 down in the inning. Runners on first and third. He's not your lead runner. And frankly, that runner doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But the runner on third does. He comes home to score on the error, and now it's a 7-6 lead for the Expos. First pitch swung on and hit right at Tanner Hamrick, who fields it cleanly and gets the out there. But on the error from Maestri, run does come across to score, so it's a 7-6 lead for the Expos. You're listening to Trooper Baseball on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
Rabbits are cute, cuddly, and sweet as can be. You can participate in the Rabbit Project whether you live in town or out in the county. And Farmers Co-op carries payback rabbit feed and additives to keep your rabbits in top shape. No matter if you're showing one for fair or just want a bunny for the family, Farmers Co-op can help you out. They also carry alfalfa hay and straw and shavings for bedding. Stop by Farmers Co-op today to pick up all your rabbit supplies. Farmers Co-op, owned by those they serve at 1450 Coffeen Avenue in Sheridan.
In the realm of law, precision and expertise are paramount. Just as in baseball, where every play requires skill and strategy, McCool Law Firm, LLC brings a professional approach to the legal field. The McCool Law Firm's areas of practice include business law, estate planning, and real estate, incorporating the intricate nuances of farm and ranch matters. McCool Law Firm, protecting your legacy. Let them step up to bat for you. Find out more and schedule a consultation at McCoolLawFirmLLC.com or call 307-461-9240.
Hi there, this is Jim and Chosby with Stiefel Financial. You're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
So an error from Frankie Maestri on the mound on an errant pickoff move allows Cannon Hoff to come home and score. Now the Expos have a 7-6 lead. Troopers will try to take it back here with the top of the order coming up. Tyler Hutton will lead things off. Still Cooper Stallman on the mound for the Expos. And a bunt from Tyler Hutton, a perfect bunt down the third base line, and a bunt single for Tyler Hutton as the throw is not in time. Good job by Hutton. His best trait, his speed, using it to his advantage there as he bunts for a single. Now Cale Hamrick up at the plate. Cale Hamrick so far today lined out to the first baseman back in the first, walked back in the second, and singled, came around to score in the fifth. First pitch to Cale. Low and outside for ball one. Another good block by Dolan behind home plate. This has been a long ball game, ladies and gentlemen. We're still only in the sixth inning. It's been about 2 hours and 6 minutes, give or take. Started at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. The 1-0 outside, Hutton going, and the perfect throw from Dolan gets Hutton. Man, what a throw from Dolan. Dolan putting on, as I said earlier, kind of putting on a show behind home plate. And that could not have been a more perfect throw. Right in front of the bag. Catches Hutton stealing. Now the bases are empty. Cale Hamrick, a 1-1 count. Here it comes. That one in there for strike two. I've been most impressed so far today from John Dolan behind home plate for this Expos team. He's been very, very good. Excuse me, it's a 2-1 count for Hamrick. Apologize. Here comes the 2-1. That one hits Hamrick, so he'll get on freely there. That's going to bring up Tyler Reeson. Reeson walked back in the first, victim of a fielder's choice, or grounded into a fielder's choice back in the second, I should say, and then doubled back in the fifth, came around to score, an RBI double. Cale Hamrick over on first now after the hit by pitch. One down in the inning. First pitch to Reeson, swung on line into left field, hit hard right at the left fielder, who catches it in stride. That was hit hard just right at Race Fisher out there in left. So 2 down in the inning now for the Troopers. Cale Hamrick still over on first, and Will Greer is coming to the plate. So he is still in. First pitch he sees a little high and inside for ball 1. And the 1-0 lined into center field. Again, played perfectly by the Expo fielder there. He fields it cleanly for out number 3. So the Expos hold on to their 7-6 lead. We head into the top half of the 7th. Expos leading 7-6. You're listening to Trooper Baseball, 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO, and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
Looking to buy a new truck that'll turn heads? The Waring Sheridan Chevrolet team has your truck. It's a 2023 Chevy Silverado 1500 Rocky Ridge Edition. 5.3-liter V8, 6-inch suspension lift system, 35-inch all-terrain tires, power running boards, fully custom stitch interior, and a lot more. You'll save $17,000 on this amazing truck. Come experience the Waring way of buying a vehicle. Go online, WaringSheridan.com, or stop by 107 East Alger.
Mossholders Design Center proudly supports our young student athletes in Sheridan County. Being a member of a successful team takes determination, a strong work ethic, and great leadership. It's those qualities that have defined Mossholders over the last 115 years in Sheridan. We're proud of the Mossholders legacy, and we're proud of our local athletes and coaches. Let the talented and hardworking staff at Mossholders help you with your next furniture purchase or design project. Mossholders wishes each and every team the best of luck this season.
Hi, this is Brent Wolf with Sheridan Motors, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
And welcome back to Trooper Baseball. Ernie Rodolini Field, Thorn Rider Park. Troopers trailing 7-6, and what has been a pretty entertaining ball game here today. Frankie Maestri still on the mound for the Troopers. You'll see 4, 5, 6 of the Expo lineup, starting with Cooper Stallman. First pitch to Stallman from Maestri. A little bit low for ball 1. Stallman so far today popped out to the first baseman back in the 2nd, walked back in the 3rd, and had a 2 RBI double in the 5th. 1-0 misses outside from Maestri to make it a 2-0 count. Here comes the 2-0. That one's in there for strike 1. Comes the 2-1 again. That one a little bit inside to make it a 3-1 count for the leadoff man here in this top half of the 7th for the Expos. Cooper Stallman. Here comes the 3-1. That one's hit hard right at Cale Hamrick at shortstop. Fielded on a hop. Throw over to first in time for out number 1. Play by Cale Hamrick at short. That's going to bring up Race Fisher. He struck out looking back in the 2nd, got hit by a pitch in the 3rd, and then walked again in the 5th. So officially 0 for 1 on the day. Also came around to score in the 5th as well. He fouls one back into the netting. Strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 to Fisher. That one swung on and missed for strike 2. Quickly an 0-2 count to Fisher. 1 down in the inning here for the Expos. Here comes the 0-2. That one's in there for strike 3. Gets Fisher looking on 3 pitches. That's going to bring up John Dolan, the catcher here today. Dolan doubled back in the second, grounded out to the second baseman back in the third, singled back in the fifth. And the first pitch he sees there, he hits sky high into left field, and Will Greer fields it cleanly for out number 3. So the Troopers come back in and try to win this thing in the bottom half of the seventh. They trail 7-6. You're listening to Trooper Baseball on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO, and watching live on SheridanMedia.com.
Rooting for the home team is the Wyoming way, and the banks of Buffalo, Gillette, and Sheridan are the 307's biggest fans. Banking with us means you're doing more than ever to support school sports because your money stays right here in our community. We're proud to recognize our hard-working athletes with youth sponsorships, and the local difference means the familiar faces you know and trust for your banking needs are the same ones cheering with you up in the stands. BuffaloFed.Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Getting behind the wheel is likely the most dangerous thing you'll do this week. Yet too many of us in Wyoming continue to ignore the best way to improve our odds in a crash. The 3 seconds it takes to buckle your seatbelt can mean the difference between life and death in a rollover crash. Just 3 seconds. It's simple. It's effective. So why are we still not doing it? Buckle up, Wyoming. Click it or ticket. This message brought to you by WYDOT.
This is Dr. Michelle Meehan, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Troopers come into the bottom half of the seventh inning trailing 7-6. They'll try to win it here, at the very least tie it up and send it into extra innings. Dyson Murner will lead things off, 5-hole man, followed by Blaine Phillips and Lath Brown on the lineup card. Still Cooper Stallman on the mound for the Expos. Been an interesting up-and-down game. One of the better games we've seen so far this year for this Trooper squad, at least here at home. They scored first back in the bottom half of the first inning, and then Expos got 2 across in the top half of the third. Troopers tied it in the bottom half of the fourth with 1 run. Then 4 came across in the top half of the fifth for the Expos. 4 came across for the Troopers in the bottom half of the fifth, and then 1 came across in the sixth for the Expos, and now they lead 7-6. First pitch, Dyson Murner watches outside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 to Murner. That one catches the outside corner for strike 1. Here comes the 1-1. That one a little low and outside for ball 2. Two 2-1 now to Murner. Here it comes. Swung on and missed. Big cut there by Murner, but missed for strike 2. And here comes the 2-2. That one's low and outside for ball 3, so full count here for Murner. You will take a walk or a knock if you're the Troopers to lead things off. And here comes the 3-2. Fouled back into the netting. Murner stays alive. Here comes the 3-2 to Murner. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Murner goes down swinging to start off this bottom half of the 7th. That's going to bring up Blaine Phillips. Blaine walked in the first, struck out swinging in the third, and laid down a sac bunt with an RBI back in the 5th. First pitch he sees, he swings and misses at for strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 to Blaine. That one's high for ball 1. One count now to Blaine Phillips. And here it comes. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Cooper Stallman rearing back and throwing it. Putting some gas down there at home plate. Here comes the 1-2 to Phillips. That one's outside. That'll be ball 2. And the 2-2 to Phillips, swung on and missed. Gets Phillips on a sword for out number 2. So now the Troopers down to their last batter here, last out, with Lath Brown coming to the plate. He grounded into a 6 unassisted back in the first, struck out swinging in the 4th, got hit by a pitch back in the 5th, and came around to score. He watches ball 1 on the outside there to start things off. 1-0 count. Here comes the 1-0 to Brown. That one's high for ball 2. Count, nobody on. 2 down in the inning here for the Troopers. 7-6 lead for the Expos. Brown watches strike 1 on the inside corner. Stallman working quickly and confidently for the Expos here on the mound. Here comes the 2-1. That one hits Brown again, so the hit batsman gets the tying run on first base for the Troopers. That's going to bring up Frankie Maestri. He's been pitching for the Troopers. This is his first plate appearance. First pitch he sees is in there for strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 to Maestri. Lined hard into left field, but foul. Just foul. Maestri hit that ball hard. Just pulled it foul. Third base line. So no 2 count now to Frankie Maestri. Troopers down to their last strike. Here comes the 0-2. That one skied into center field. And coming in is the center fielder who fields it cleanly for out number 3. And that will end the ball game. Troopers go down in this first of 2 games here today, 7-6. A well-fought game, one of the better games we've seen here at Ernie Rodolini Field so far this season. And we'll be back for a second game here in just a little bit, about half an hour. We're going to go back to regularly scheduled programming here for a little while. And we'll be back for the second game once first pitch is ready to go. Troopers fall 7-6 in this first one. We'll be back in about half an hour. You've been listening to Trooper Baseball here on 1410 AM and 106.9 FM KWYO and watching live on SheridanMedia.com. We'll be back in 30 minutes.
From the First Northern Bank Studio, 1410 AM, KW.